With a playing career spanning 9 clubs over 21 years, Lee Peackc's footballing CV is an impressive one. He ended his career at Eastleigh and became the head of youth and development at the club in 2014. He oversees their youth sides and an age range of 8 to 18-year-olds.
Within our academy, which is essentially a training centre, we have 8 to 15s, and they come along on a Friday, train. We have games against pro setups, maybe 7-8 games a year. After that, it goes into under 16s. That's training twice a week and a game at the weekend. And the focus of that is, can we feed our scholarship? Now, obviously, with that, that's on-site education programme, BTEC level 3 extended diploma in sport, and that's training every day, education every day. It's a regular college scheme, but with football and intensive football, with a view to, like I said earlier, can we get some young pros out of it?
First team manager Todd recognises just how vital young players can be to a club like Eastleigh and the benefits of placing an emphasis on youth in the modern day game.
Massive. I think throughout the years in football, youth products have been a guiding light with clubs. You know, I think you can make money on them, give you finances to the club, and also they can play big parts in the football club itself, as in on the field. You know, they can come through and be first team football players.
The well-travelled Scottish striker admits that since his arrival, the role has taken on more significance, and the first team manager also recognises its growing importance.
I think when I first come in, it's changed a lot through different manager, different ideas and different expectations. I think Chris has come in and he's been a lot more open to utilising the youth within his sessions and looking to the future. I think he's got a pretty decent scope for the future of the club.
Peackc revealed his current post required time away from football in order to prepare himself for coaching.
Obviously I was playing while I was here, and then I kind of fell into the role. I was taking under 16s, and then went on, I started doing some PPA work at schools, different things like that, and I was just getting a lot of coaching experience, which I felt if I wanted to be a coach, I had to go and do that to find out if I was any good, and to start at the very bottom and hopefully earn the opportunity to step up to the plate. I was lucky enough to be given through various reasons. Obviously people move on, and I was given the opportunity to take over as head of youth. There was nothing actually set in stone to what the role was, so it's kind of unfolded in different ways, and it evolves year on year. For me, it's where we are now. It's about, can we get players up to the understanding of the requirements of being in a first team training session.
The nature of football in the 21st century means that players are put under immense pressure from a young age, something the manager was keen to avoid at Eastleigh, emphasising that enjoyment should be prioritised over everything else.
As a youngster, and we're talking sort of 10 years old and under, up to the age of about 12, 13, it's got to be enjoyment. It's really got to be enjoyment, and getting the young lads wanting to play for the football club is massive. But most of all, enjoying the game, and then they'll develop with time. I think the present minute they put too much pressure on these young kids, and I don't like it. It's not right. I believe you should enjoy it as a young age, and then when it gets to the sort of the 13 years old mark, I think then it can start becoming a little bit more serious when you're just about sort of finding your feet as a youngster. But there's too much pressure in my opinion.
Todd revealed that the club's adoption of the scholarship system, as opposed to paying their youngsters, presents its challenges for Peackc. Promotion to the Football League would drastically change the picture.
Lee's a top guy, you know. He's been in the game a long time. And he's got a tough task, because it's not easy being a youth team manager, and it's fresh as well. You know, the club isn't an academy. It's starting out with scholarship systems, and that's difficult to do. It's difficult to run because you're not bringing in the players you actually really want to bring into the football club. You know, if you spot somebody, you could bring them in. you're having to sort of manipulate what you've got and work with that, and it's about players wanting to come to the club, and that's what he's finding at the minute. It'd be nice if we can get into the Football League, because then everything changes and you can become that academy and you can start bringing in players and paying players. At the minute, the youngsters don't get paid. They do a scholarship system, and it's difficult to attract top players. There is some good players through it, but you only get numbers. You only get small numbers of top players, and you've got to be very lucky with that. So it'd be nice to develop it and get to that point where we're able to bring in players from all over the country, really, and hopefully one day that may happen.
Currently in the Vanarama Conference, where do the club go from here?
At the moment, it's about the football club as a whole. It's about the way I run things. I like youth. I like enthusiastic, hungry individuals who want to come to the football club and do well. And I've given opportunities to these young boys. You know, we've got quite a number actually that have come through the system. And are doing very, very well. The likes of Jack Masterton, Tony Lee, Olly Griggs, Joe Hayward, the list goes on, Jack Smith. It's really strong now, and they're getting the opportunity to train with the first team. That's massive. To train with the likes of Andrew Drury, James Constable, Matt Tubbs. These guys, it's a breath of fresh air for them, because they're getting to experience the football environment, which is very cutthroat, but they're playing with good players that won't let them slip their standards when they come and train with them.
One individual who's made a step down to the club is Olly Griggs. He was released from AFC Bournemouth because of injury problems and has been involved with the first team at Eastleigh. He knows how valuable someone like Peackc is to him and his teammates.
He's very good. He gives you good advice. Obviously, he's been about and he's been in the leagues, and he's got a lot of experience, and he can help you on the way if you're like slacking or anything. He just tells you, puts you in your place, and gives you improvements and stuff to work on, really.
The former Cherries youngster is also appreciative of how often Todd comes to watch the young sides and promotes them to first team training as a result.
He's always come to watch and always looking out for us and getting players to come up and train with the first team, which is nice. Good for the boys, really.
Despite being full of praise for the youth sides at the club, Chris Todd emphasised an ultimatum. The two must work in unison and move forward together.
For this club to develop, the youth system has got to develop with it. If it doesn't, then you fall wayward. Not now, but down the line. It's very important that the club progress players, bring local talent through, won some away if you have to, and it can really, as I said, pay dividends down the line when you can make a bit of money on them, or they could do really well for the first team, and you're having free players given to you then, you're making them yourself, which is good.
When we have players the likes of Olly Griggs, who's been involved with the first team now, he was at Bournemouth, and it's a massive kick in the teeth for some of these kids, and the world falls apart. They've left Bournemouth, they've been there for some of them all their life, so you try and get them to understand, there's still good standards of football, and I think if you have a look at who Olly Griggs was with at Bournemouth and have a look now, in the space of 6 to 8 months, whose career has taken what route, because he's been involved with the first team. He's the one who's kind of kicking on, and because he's come in with the right approach, so you speak to go, listen, this is a good standard of football, and all you come in, showcase what you can do here, and if you are that good, you'll get your rewards, you'll go back up the league, and hopefully with this club. But if not, or your hard work, determination, your talent will show through, and you'll get the moves, you'll get back in there. Just because one door closes doesn't mean it's the end of the world. There's lots of opportunities, and getting the kids to recognise, because on our doorstep, Southampton and Bournemouth, and getting the kids to realise that, I think previously kids would have went, Eastleigh, non-league, you know what I mean? They come in here, they see the ambition of the club, they see the ambition of the manager, the chairman, the support, the way the kids have been here now a year or so, how the club is transforming, the media hype behind it. They go, oh, actually, this is not bad here,
Having gone from the Wessex League to the Conference South in just 3 quick-fire years, Peackc insists the club will only continue to go one way.
Because this is a club for me that's going in a set direction, that's going on a upwards transition, and they can be part of that from the beginning, you know.
The ambition of the coach, the manager and the club as a whole is something to be admired, especially with so many big hitters on their doorstep. But if Eastleigh can continue their remarkable progress both on and off the field, it may not be too long before their academy goals become reality.